Okay, you guys, I'm super excited to be doing another Zoom for you. I want to say first off, I love that you guys are all in the chat. For those of you that were having time getting into Telegram, that t.me/Courtney Grutza, you put into Safari or your internet. You don't put that into Telegram. I should have said that. Sorry. But you can go in there. I'll put any scripts, pictures, recordings of Zooms, whatever from this. We'll all be in there. Okay. So, what I want to talk about tonight is the mindset and the work ethic and what to do to be successful, because you have to have both. Okay. A lot of times you will have one or the other because one or the other is easier at that moment. Right. But the key to success is having both of them. So, I have a couple notes written down, but I'm just going to kind of see where God takes me in this Zoom, and we'll just go from there. So, one question that I got, and because if you guys didn't see, I put like, what do you guys want me to talk about today? And one question that I got was, can this be a lifelong thing? And I want to tell you the good answer is yes. Okay. However, yes, if is really what the answer is. Yes, if you're willing to put the work in. Yes, if you're going to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Yes, if you're going to stick with it. See what I'm saying there? This can pay all of your bills for the rest of your life. This has paid all of our bills for 5 years now. But that did not come without sacrifice. That did not come without me putting that work in, right? And that didn't come without sacrifice on Matthew's end for realizing that, like, I'm going to be on my phone 24/7. Not really, but like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be on my phone more than I would be if I wasn't doing this business. And you have to be okay with that. And so what I want to ask first, and if you guys are willing to share, put in the comments or in the chat, if you know what your 90-day goal is, your 6-month goal, and your 1-year goal, whether that's financial, rank, whatever. What's your 90-day goal, 6-month goal, 1-year goal? Do you know? You can put no in the chat if you don't know. If you do know what they are, put it in the chat. Okay. So the reason that I ask that is because a lot of times in this business, we see our next goal and that's it, right? Our next goal is like, okay, I just want to get to Ruby. But if you don't see beyond that, it's going to be hard to push you. Because if you're close enough, you're not going to have to work that hard, right? Because if you're like, okay, I need a couple hundred to go Ruby, well, you're going to put in that much effort. But if you're like, I need a couple hundred to go Ruby and then a couple thousand next month to go Emerald, that's going to keep you going, okay? And with that, you need to know why those goals are your goals, okay? And I know if you're anything like me, I had goals that I just said because I thought that's the goal I was supposed to have, right? That's just, hold on, y'all, I have to change this light. It's like blue and I look like an alien. Hold on. Is that better? Okay, better. My child plays with my ring light and turned blue and it was driving me nuts. Okay. So you have to have a goal that works for you, not just because it's what you think is supposed to be. Okay. So a lot of times, like I used to say, and I laugh looking back on January 1st or like whenever conference would end, I always laughed because I would make this picture back in the day. Does anyone remember? I don't remember what it was called, but it was this thing that made like graphics, right? And every single year I had Ambassador Diamond on my goal. Okay. No, I wasn't even an executive, but I was like, my goal should be ambassador because that's what, no. Okay. Your goal needs to make sense to you and it needs to push you without terrifying you. Because if your goal is too big, you're going to stall. But if your goal is too small, you're not going to start. You know what I'm saying? You need to have that goal that's big enough, that's going to push you enough without making you cripple into a hole of like, oh my God, how am I ever going to do this? Okay. And if you don't know what that goal is, start there. Start figuring out where you want to go. And if you don't know, start figuring out what amount of money do you need to bring in that would make a difference. Okay. And I want you to have steps to it because, like, obviously we could all be like, well, if I made 30 grand a month, that would make a difference. Duh. Right. But what is the first goal? Like, what are you where you're like, okay, if I could bring in like another 500 a month, that'd be great. Like, that would pay my car bill, right? Like, what is that next thing that you're like, okay, that would take that weight off my shoulders? And then what would be beyond that? Okay, maybe 2,000, you'd be like, okay, I could pay like half the bills or whatever. And then at 4,000, I could probably pay all of the bills, right? You need to have stepping stones. You can't jump from 0 to 4,000. But if you can have stepping stones to get there. So the first thing that I want you to do is figure out what your goals are. Okay. I need you to figure out what they are, why you want them, and what you will need to get them. Okay. Because you cannot go somewhere if you don't know what it takes to get there. Okay. I will never forget, a girl told me, and this kills me to this day, and I want to shake her, and I don't even know if she's still in this business. You guys, she was, without knowing, because she wasn't really paying attention to her charts, she had some working people, she was 32 BV from Diamond. 32. Didn't do it. Because she didn't know what she needed. She wasn't paying attention. So you need to pay attention. You need to know where you're going. You need to know what you need for that rank, for that money amount, right? That's the first thing. The second thing that I want to ask you right now, and you don't have to answer, you can answer in the chat if you want to. However, what I want to ask you is, do your goals match your work ethic? Okay? Because a lot of times, y'all, I'm sorry if you came for a lovey-dovey Zoom. That's not what this Zoom is tonight. I'm so sorry. I love you, and I promise this all comes with love. But sometimes we all just need like a little slap in the face and a little shake, a little something, something, right? Okay. So, do your goals match your work ethic? Okay. And the thing is, most of the time we say our goals are this, right? We're like, all right, I'm going to go diamond this month. And that's like on the first of the month, and the first, second, and third, you're like, I'm freaking killing it. I'm a beast. I'm going to go diamond. I'm going to get 7,000 cabs. It's going to be great. Okay. However, then you die and you fall off the face of the earth. And because one day doesn't go well and something happens in your life and you don't get a post to post for that day, then the next 2 weeks, you're like, I haven't done a dang thing. And then you're in this cycle of, how do I even start again? Because I haven't been doing anything. Right? And you can't get yourself in motion because you've been stuck for so long. So you need to match your work ethic to your goals. And I will tell you this, I can answer this for you. If you have not done at least 2 4-in-1s this month, your work ethic does not match your goal. Because if you're on the Zoom, you have a goal to go Ruby and beyond, right? This business, if you are putting your time and effort in, you will sign customers and you will sign distributors. But a lot of times we get stuck in our head and about like, oh, I just, I'm not being successful. So like, it's hard to work because I don't feel successful and whatever, right? And there's so many girls on my team that I've talked to about this, that they're just in this spot of like, I know I need to work, but I don't, like, I just don't, right? Or like, it's just not like, I just am not motivated. Okay. Here's what I'm going to tell you, because I have had to have this conversation with myself so many times. You want to know the key to being motivated? You want to know how to get motivated the quickest? Work before you're motivated. And then from the work, you will see the results, which will give you the motivation. Okay? It is very, very hard to do that first thing. Okay? And if you want to think about it like this, y'all know when you're blowing up a balloon, that first little bit to get it to like inflate, you feel like you're going to die, right? Like you have to blow so freaking hard to get it to even like, boop. Y'all know what I'm talking about? But then once it inflates, then you can just go into a full balloon like it's nothing, right? That first little bit is the hardest. So if you're at a spot where you're not seeing the results that you want, and I saw it, one of my girls was like, did I inspire this Zoom? No, because you're not the only one. I love you, and I want you to listen to this, but you're not the only one. So many people are here, and I have been here so many times. But this first initial part of getting yourself back in motion is the hardest. This is going to be where you're going to have to force yourself. I don't care if you have to send me screenshots of every single message you send. This is going to be the hardest. But once you start and you start seeing the results come in, you're going to be more motivated, right? How many of you put a 1 in the chat after you get a host post that blows up? You're like, I'm going to go get up 75 more host posts. I'm hyped up. I'm ready to go. Right? You get a host post that's blowing up and you're like, I'm freaking great. Right? Or maybe you get you sign up, like you put a post up and you get a million comments and you're like, why don't I post all the time? This is wonderful. Or do a reel that goes viral, right? Success breeds motivation, but you're not going to get success unless you start doing something first, right? So take that first step, do those things, right? Don't just try. I was watching the sermon and I did not even get to finish it because my child woke up and lost his mind this morning, but I was watching the sermon that Elevation did this morning. And I don't know where Stephen Furtick went with it, but we're going to go where my brain took it. Okay. So he started and he said, it was, I don't even remember what verse it was or anything, but it was talking about these men that carried this paralyzed guy to Jesus. And he said they tried. They tried to get there, but there was too many people. They couldn't get through the door, right? And how many of us would stop there? Like, if I carried a person, that would be it. Like, deed is done. I did my best, right? And so many people try in this business. We try for a couple of days or we try to get motivated and like life just happens or whatever. Y'all, they did something else. And to be honest, I don't remember. I think they like climbed on top of the house. Something. Okay. Yep. I see Rachel and Liz, like they climbed down and they like dropped him in, right? Like I'm not imagining that. Yeah. Okay. Are you looking for another way to be successful or are you looking for an excuse of why you aren't? That was on Elevation this morning. So it's probably on YouTube by now. If not, Vanessa, I will send it to you. So are you looking for an excuse of like, well, I did my best. I tried, but like this happened and like, it is what it is. Or are you looking for option 2? Are you looking for another way to be successful? Okay. If you are at a fork in the road where you're like, either this is it or this isn't, I want you to push yourself. I want you to decide that you're not quitting. Because guess what? Quitting is the easy option. But if you quit or you tell yourself this isn't going to work for me or this is too hard, your life is going to be the exact same as it is right now, a year from now. Put a 2 in the chat if you'd be jacked about that. If you'd be so happy that your life is exactly the same a year from now. No, not a single one can put 2. Because everyone wants more, right? Guess what? If you quit, you're never going to get more. So you need to decide that quitting isn't an option. You need to decide that what's been happening isn't going to happen anymore. And if you're brand new and you're like, girlfriend, this is way over my head, just go with me, okay? Just go with me. And I just want you to know, take this as if ignoring your past, but just deciding that you're going to run from here on out. Okay. I do not know what is all coming from corporate at Green Carpet. I do not know what the announcement is in 45 minutes. What I do know is I have talked to Stacy. I've talked to Meredith. I've talked to Lanisa. I've talked to Lori. There is so much coming. And either you decide now that you're going to be ready for it or you're going to be left in the dust. Okay. This company is running. This company has so much momentum and you can either ride that momentum and promote to diamond and double and triple. I bet there's going to be 25 plus new ambassadors in the next year. Are you going to be one of the diamonds on that team? Are you going to be one of the double diamonds or triple diamonds, the presidential diamonds? My girls, we're going triple diamond next month. And that makes me want to cry thinking about it, but we're going to do it. Okay. And guess what? We're not stopping. We will be ambassador by the end of 2024. And I want you to know that that's terrifying to me, but I know my girls can do it. And I want those goals, not for me. I don't need 10,000 plus a month. What I need is 10 plus people on my team making 2,000 a month. That's what I need. I need 10 plus people on my team that are like, my life is forever different. That's what I need. Okay. And I want you to know that this business is bigger than you. Lanisa once told me that something that shook my world. Okay. I don't even think that's the saying, but that's what I'm going with. She said, Courtney, there are other people's dreams attached to your work ethic. And it killed me because those days that I woke up and I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to send another host post message. I don't want to post. I don't want to add another friend. I want to go sit on the couch and watch Netflix. Anyone feel me? Right? But there are other people's dreams that they need me to work today so that they can dream tomorrow. How many of you, I actually want to see this, put a 3 in the chat if you've been able to dream bigger because of me, and put a 4 in the chat if you've been able to dream bigger because of someone in the company. And don't just put 3 because you're on my Zoom. Okay. Do you guys see this? There are people that need to see you work and need to see you dream so they can dream for themselves. They need to see you do something first so they can think they can do it too. Right? You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know exactly what's going on. You just need to put the effort in. You just need to do the things. Okay. So let me go back to my notes because I'm getting all sorts of discombobulated. Okay. So another thing that someone told me a very long time ago that killed me also. Okay. And I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. Somebody told me, they said, work as if you could be fired. And I was like, well, that's rude because I would never be fired, even though I've been fired from 7,000 jobs, right? Because I don't like when people tell me what I have to do. I don't know if you know that. I don't listen to people very well. But someone told me, work as if Mark Pentecost or whoever your top leader, your favorite top leader is, work as if they were sitting behind you while you were working. And I want you to think about, put a 4 or put a 5 in the chat today if you would be proud to have me or Mark Pentecost or the Duns or whoever you look up to. Would you be proud of whoever that person is to see what you've done today? Put a 5 in the chat if you're like, yes, I freaking killed it today. And put a 6 in the chat if you're like, oh, maybe not. I could have done more. I would put a 6 in the chat because life today was hard. Ethan was in a mood. It just was a lot going on, right? And it's so easy because no one is here. No one's watching. You don't have to turn your messages in at the end of the night. You don't have to turn your host to post in your post. You don't have to turn anything in. No one knows what you did but you, which is the hardest part about this business. And I want you to get into that mindset of thinking like, what if you did have to get up 5 host to post a day to stay a distributor? If you had to, you would get it done, right? If like legit, if you had to send that into corporate to keep an active distributor account, you might not have joined as a distributor in the first place, but you would find out a way to get it done so you could stay as a distributor and get your paycheck, right? You would figure it out. But a lot of times, because we don't have any quotas and we don't have anyone that really is our boss, we don't do it. And then by not doing it, we don't do it tomorrow because we didn't do it yesterday. We don't feel like it. And then you're on the cycle of not wanting to do anything because it's easy not to do anything. But guess what? When you take that first step and you start going, you will find yourself in a much better place. I will tell you guys now, I don't remember what Zoom I said this on, a couple months ago, probably 5 months ago, February-ish, when I sent out a text for my team Zoom, I texted 3 people. Now, I physically ran out of time because I normally do like 10-minute reminders. I ran out of time before I got to my whole team. And I don't say that to brag and be like, my team is so large and we're so awesome. We do have a really awesome team. But I say that to show you guys that where you are right now doesn't matter. But where you want to be does. And what's coming at Green Carpet, if you're running, you'll be very happy. And your wallet will be very happy. Okay? Yeah, Ashton, you didn't get a text because I figured you would see it in the group chat eventually. Your wallet will be very happy. Okay? I don't know exactly. I wish I knew. I would probably tell it and I just wouldn't put this on YouTube. I don't know what's coming. What I do know is there are big bonuses that are going to be paid out in a short amount of time. I don't know if they've said that publicly, but here you go. That's news for me. There's going to be bonuses. Okay. And I want you to know this. And I mean this wholeheartedly. I don't care if you're like Tana, and I don't know if she's still on, that just started today. You can get a bonus at the end of next month. You can. I don't care if you've been in the business for 7 years and haven't done a dang thing, or if you started 7 minutes ago. If you decide that this business is going to work for you, it will. What you're looking for, you will find. If you're looking for excuses of why you can't be successful and why you can't work today and why you couldn't get host to post up and why you haven't signed customers and why you haven't signed distributors and why this, and this, you're going to find all those excuses. You can find all of them. Or you can look for ways to be successful. You can look for ways to work anyways, even though your life is crazy. You can look for what other things can you do to bring in customers and distributors. Y'all, this month has been the craziest month of my life, not business-wise, just like time-wise. My parents were here for 10 days. It was Matthew's birthday. Like, we had 7 million doctor appointments for Ethan. We've had so much going on. But besides all of that, I've signed 23 distributors and 13 customers this month. And to be honest, I'm not happy with that. I wanted to sign more. And I will sign more. And I know some of you were like, I would kill for that. I would kill for those enrollments. I saw all of you were like, when I said I wasn't happy, I saw 4 of you that were like, you're nuts. Okay. I know that. But I set big goals for myself because I know I can do it. But guess what? My goals weren't always really big, because you have to set goals at first that you can do one thing. And then it's like, okay, you hit the first goal and then you can go to the next goal, right? This is like I was saying, you can't say, okay, I'm a distributor. My goal next month is Ambassador Diamond. You wouldn't even try. Like, that's not a thing. But when you say, okay, my first goal, I'm going to sign my first customer. And then I'm going to get a 4-in-1. And then I'm going to go Ruby. And then I'm going to go Emerald. And then I'm going to go Diamond. Because each step doesn't feel that hard because you've done so many things first, right? But you have to first believe that you can do it. You have to first believe that it's going to come together, okay? And I will tell you this, and this is how you know if you believe you can or not. When you're thinking about your goal, are you excited or are you scared? Are you excited or are you scared? Because I have been both with goals. And let me tell you this, when you're excited, it comes together. When you're scared, it doesn't. When you're excited, you're in a good place working. And somehow things just come together. People just message you in order. I had that happen today. A girl messaged me and she's like, hey, I'm ready to order that. And it was 120 BB. And I was like, I don't know when I talk to you, but okay, great. Okay. But when you're scared, you're working from a place of desperation. And just, you're in this mindset of like, I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to try. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But when you're excited, you know it's going to come together. You just don't know how yet, but you're like, we're just going to do the things and it's going to come together. Right? I will tell you this. When See La Vie Jamaica came out, and this, Lindsay, if you're on here, she will attest to this. The day it was announced, I sent Lindsay screenshots of flights getting to Jamaica. And I was like, which one do you think is better? When are you thinking of going? I hadn't earned it yet, obviously. It was just announced. But I knew without a shadow of a doubt that Matthew and I would be going for free. What did we do? Matthew and I went for free, or will be going for free. Because I knew that. Okay? 2 or 3 months ago when I re-ranked Double Diamond, I sent Lindsay, I don't remember what I needed, but it was a lot. Okay, y'all, like we needed a lot still with like 3 days left. I want to say we needed like 4,000 or something. Okay, it was a lot. And I was terrified. And then something happened and I got excited. I got into this part where I was happy thinking about my goal and I was happy thinking about what could come together. And I got into a mindset of, instead of where are all these going to come from, to I'm so excited to see where these come from. Like, I'm so excited to see how this comes together. Because I knew it would, I just didn't know how yet. And you have to get to that mindset. And if you're not there, you have to get there. You have to do affirmations. You have to get yourself in that right mindset that you can get there. because working from a place of desperation and fear does not work. Okay. So, I will share, because I've been asked 7,000 times, I will share with you guys what I do every day because I've been asked that. But is there anything you guys want me to talk about specifically before I go to that? What I want you to hear of all of the things that I said and all the 7,000 different routes I went, I want you to hear two things before I tell you what I do every day. One, you have to believe you can do it. You have to be excited about what your goal is. Your goal has to make you excited to work. Not all the time. There are still going to be days where you don't want to work, but your goal has to excite you enough that you work anyways. Okay? You have to make that decision that you're going to get that goal done, even when you don't feel like it, and even when it doesn't feel good, and even when you're not hyped up on a Zoom. Because I know all of you right now could be like, what's your goal? And you can be like, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get that done, because you're hyped up. Right? But when you wake up tomorrow and you didn't sleep good and you're exhausted and you don't like you woke up late for work, you don't want to do it. But you have to make that decision tomorrow to do it too. And the next day to do it too. And the next night when you want to watch Netflix, but you're not. You have to keep making that decision. And it all starts with that first step. So if you're not happy where your business is right now, maybe you're happy with your enrollments, but not your team. Or maybe you're happy with your team, but not your enrollments. It starts now. Don't worry about what the previous month looked like, the previous 6 months, the previous year. It doesn't matter. It can start right now. What do you want your next 6 months to look like? Because guess what 6 months from now? A new year. And guess what comes in the new year with it works? Really big bonuses. Okay. There's bonuses coming at Green Carpet, but the new year ones, y'all be ready. We're about to be rich. Okay. You decide right now. You are going to see people that at Green Carpet, when things are announced, are going to go from distributor to diamond in 2 months. And that can be you, but it starts now. That didn't happen in the 2 months that you saw. It happened before because they got into that mindset and they started working now. So start working now. Start tomorrow. Get the things going. Do the host to post, do the messages, do the posts, do the self-development, do it all, even though it's hard, because it will pay off. Okay. So my task list, I've said this a million times. I will put this in the Telegram again. But people ask me a million times, what do I do every single day? And I hate to tell you, it is nothing magical. It is nothing new. It is nothing wonderful, but this is what I do. Okay. If this is your first Zoom with me, I about 4 months ago broke it down into my shift. I call it like my shifted task list. Okay. So I took my full task list of what I wanted to get done in a day and I broke it down into 3 parts. So I spend about 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at lunch, 20 minutes at night. Call it my morning, afternoon, and night shift. First thing I want to tell you about this is find someone that you will text every shift you get done. Mine is Taylor Grindstaff. Okay. If I miss 2 shifts of texting her, even if I get it done and I just forget to text her, she'll text me and be like, what's going on? What are you doing? Did you not get it done? Are you okay? Is something going on? Find someone like that. Not just an accountability person that you're like, hey, yeah, I'm good. You're good. Great. Find an accountability person that will call you out. And if you have one and it hasn't been what you wanted, message them and be like, hey, here's what I'm looking for in an accountability partner. Is that you? If not, I'm going to find someone else. And if you're on my team and you need someone, let me know. I will find you someone. Okay. Here's what I do every day. My morning shift consists of first things first. I write down 5 things I'm grateful for and I read my devotionals. These are the 2 that I read. Hi God, It's Me Again by Nicole Crank and the Thrive Devotional Bible for Women. Okay. It's on Amazon. It's like $20 or something. Okay. These are what I do. So I write down 5 things I'm grateful for. I read these devotionals and then I write down affirmations. Okay. And we'll see it here. Okay. Here's what I'm grateful for. Here are my affirmations. Some things I wrote. So these are things that you want to be true, whether they are right now or not. This is like what your dream, whatever. Okay. So I said, I'm a great leader. I'm a mass enroller. We're great at duplicating. Host to post are blowing up for my team and I. Our volume is rising dramatically every day. I see God in my life every day. I make $10,000 a month, blah, blah. You guys see what I'm saying by that? I don't make $10,000 a month, but I want to. But I'm going to speak this over myself. Okay. So that's the first thing. Second thing is I make a post. Every single day you're going to post once about a business, or like the business opportunity, once about a product, once about something not at works related. Okay. So that's one of the posts. I send out at least 25 host to post messages. I post on my stories. I add 25 friends and I send out happy birthday messages. All in all, that takes me about 20 minutes. Okay. Sometimes my devotional and stuff takes a little longer. Afternoon shift, post again, add 25 friends again, send 25 more host to post messages. Okay. Then I will either do a reel or interact or both. And then I will do next day follow-ups, which means I just scroll through my messenger. Anyone that I talked to yesterday that didn't answer me about the business, the products, or the host to post, not the initial message. If they responded and said they'd post and didn't, I will message them again. If they didn't answer my first message, I'm not following up with them. Yes? Okay. Night shift. Post again. 25 host to post again. 25 friend requests again. You guys see what I'm saying? It's nothing crazy. Then I do other follow-ups. Are there people that were supposed to order today but didn't? Or yesterday but didn't? I also do here people that I talked to 2 weeks ago and 2 months ago. Okay. Then I make sure that I have asked 10 people to join my team today, which if you got 10 hosts to post up, you should ask everyone who does a host to post to join your team. So that task's done. Okay. Then I write down potentials and then I look back at my day and I say, what else do I need to do? Okay. What else do I need to do? And that's what I will do. Okay. If you get consistent with this task list, I promise you, you will see the enrollments. My 23 and 13 didn't come from just this month. It came from the months of me doing this. Okay. So the other thing that I want to preach to you, how many of you, and I want to know, hold on. I just saw there was questions and I'll go through them. Put a 0 in the chat if you're going to green carpet. Okay. Some of you. Here's what I will tell you. Green carpet will change everything for you. Figure out a way to get there. Figure it out. I don't care if you have to drive. I know people are driving like 18 hours. That sounds like my worst nightmare. But if you can't afford a plane ticket, fly or drive. Okay? If you can't afford a hotel room, find someone that does have a hotel room and be like, can I pay to sleep on your floor? Okay? Figure it out. If you are on my team, message me and I will walk you through it. I believe we have one spot left in our house, our Airbnb house, but we can figure it out if we need more. And then tickets for green carpet from corporate are $130. Okay. When you go to green carpet, you will get 10 promo codes for October to have somebody join your team for half off. And if you start this task list now, you will sign 10 distributors. And guess what? When you teach them to do the task list and they do the match its, that's $1,500 in your pocket. Think it's worth the $130 investment? Yes. Okay. Decide now that it's going to come together. Decide now that you are worth it and that your future is worth it and that what your past and what you've been doing doesn't matter. But you have to start now. You have to decide today that you're going to switch the things and you're going to do it all. Okay. Let me see what questions I had. Put any other questions you guys had in the chat, please. You get someone to host a post for you. What do I actually send? Do I go back and forth with product distributor? How's it look for you? So I base what I get people to host a post for me based off of what I need for the month or like for right now. Okay. So right now I'm doing primarily Gummies host a post. I'm trying to finish out some people's promotions and trying to help with that. So I'm doing primarily Gummy host a post, but then I also do giveaway host a posts so that I get more people to do giveaways. And then distributor ones, I try to get up to a day at least. I try to wait at least 2 hours between each shift. What are my tips on when you've run out of people to message to host a post when you're adding 30 plus people a day in each platform? You need to add more than 30 a day on Facebook. You need to add 75 a day, at least. Unless you have, like, I still add 75 a day and I'm maxed out. So I have to unfriend 75 people a day. Okay. You need to constantly have new people. You should not run out of people unless you're brand new. But even then, you guys, what I would say is focus on giveaway host to post to find new people. But you need to be adding a ton to your network. The other thing is ask people to do second entries for you. So if they did a gummies host to post, ask them to do a giveaway to get 2 host to posts out of every person. Yes. Best way to add people fast, just add a bunch. Like, so I used to really look at people's profiles before I added them. I don't do that anymore. I will send out 25 friend requests. I literally just scroll through and I just add people. I will go to, I'll find a friend on Facebook and then I click their friends and click suggestions at the top left, which will tell you people who you have mutual friends with. And I'll literally just scroll down and I add 25 right there. And then when people add me back, if I see they're with another company or they say stuff I don't like or whatever, I'll unfriend them later. But I don't take too much time. My time's too precious. I'll deal with that later. Any other questions anyone has for me? Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? Don't think so. Okay, cool. Let me stop the recording.